Hi guys, I'm going to show you how to create this beautiful button over effects using Elementor and no plugin at all. So we have the vertical slide up, we have the horizontal slide, you have the view from bottom, border draw, 3D flip effect, and the shutter effect. So as usual, you can find the code for each of these effects on my website, and also instructions that you can also use if you cannot follow this video, if you want to make a quick troubleshooting for the effects as well. So this is the effects here, so you can see, but we're going to create them from scratch. So let's start with that. We'll start with the first effect, which is the vertical slide up and text push. So I'm just going to drag in an header here quickly. um that is the header. Then I'm going to drag a basic button in here. So the next thing we want to do is, if you scroll down here, you'd see the CSS class to use. So I'm just going to copy the CSS class and impute it under the CSS classes section here. Once I'm done with that, there are two options. You can either use this custom CSS option if you're using Elementor Pro, or you can use the HTML widget. So I'm going to use the HTML widget because I'm also going to be working with JavaScript as well. So I'm just going to drag the HTML widget here and just um, put in the code for the style. Then I'll go back to my website and I'll copy the code. Once I copy the code, I'm just going to paste it in. Then you can see that the effect is live. But this isn't where you stop. You also have the option of um, having it auto animate. So when it auto animates, it looks like this here. You understand? So I'm just going to um quickly come back to my website here. When I come back to the website here, you can see the option for the auto animation here. So I'm just going to, normally I'm supposed to copy this auto animate code and put it beside the previous CSS, but for you not to get confused, I added the full CSS code here. So I'm just going to copy that in. Then I'm going to go back to my um editor here. So I'm just going to copy and paste this out. So one thing I want you to notice is you can see this effect looks smooth like this, but what if you decide to design this button in the way that you want, you understand? So let's say if I were to be designing this are the normal values that I would usually use. So I'm just going to have something like 25 right, 25 left, but because of the over text, I'm going to increase this left to, let's say, 35. I'm going to increase this right to 35. So yeah, we have more breathing space around the left and right borders. So but you can now see that the previous text is still showing. So that is because we need to make one more quick change. So when that happens, you want to scroll down and scroll down to where you have this translates y negative value here. So I'm just going to change this quickly to 220. See how it is. You can see it is gone. So depending on the height of the padding, you want to also change this as well. So now let's move to copy the JavaScript code. I'm just going to copy the JavaScript real quick, and I'm going to drag in another HTML editor here. So I'm just going to put an HTML editor and write scripts real quick and put the code in. So there's still one more code for this to work, which is the CSS for the animation. So I'm just going to come back here and scroll down, then put the code in here. Let's see. So you can see the animation has started working, but we still have that padding issue. So in the new animation code, I'm just going to find the new I'm going to find the translate y option here as well. You can see it's the 190 that we had previously. So I'm going to change this to 220 as well. So if you check it now, you can see that it animates correctly. You understand? So quickly let's move to the other effects. So I'm just going to drag this in, then let's come down here, and the other effect is horizontal slide. So for the horizontal slide, we have the just going to put the title and I'm going to drag in a basic button here. You understand? So I'm going to drag in a basic button here, then we'll go back to the code and I'm going to copy the class here. I'm going to come down here and put the class in the CSS class. I'm going to drag in an HTML widget. So I'm just going to style this real quick, come back to the website, and I'll copy the code as well. And I'm going to put it in. So when I put it in, you can see that this works here. So, oh yes, if you want to change the over animation, what you want to do in your, if you want to change the over text, what you want to do is in your CSS code, always look for where you have content. You understand? Always look for where you have content. This is content. This first code here is the Unicode for the icon that was used, which is the Telegram icon. And this code here is what I used to add spacing in the over effect. You understand? Between the icon and the text. So instead of this slide right, I can just change this to view services. You understand? So if you check it, you understand? So if we come here as well, the first option, if we find the content, instead of this new text here, let's just remove this new text here, then you can see this becomes text here. You understand? So that's how you can edit the text content. So let's move to the third animation real quick. We have the view from bottom. So I'm just going to drag the text widgets down here and I'm going to name this as well. I'm going to drag the button below it and I'll go back to my website and copy the CSS class. This is actually a bit more straightforward from here. So I'm just going to I'm going to come to the advanced section and put in the CSS class there and I'm going to bring in the HTML widget again. You understand? So once I bring in the HTML widget, I'm just going to type the style real quick, come back to my website and copy the CSS code for the animation here, and paste it back here. And when we check it, you can see it's really straightforward. Don't worry, if there are things to do that you can if there are things to do that you can use to customize the effects, I included it in the article. As you can see, you can change for the horizontal slide, you can change it um, from left minus 100% to 100% to reverse the slide direction. You understand? So it no longer becomes slide right, it becomes slide left. You understand? So let's move to the fourth one. I'm just going to quickly bring in the um, text widget here again. I'm going to add the border draw. When I add the border draw, I'm going to bring in the button. When I add the button, I'm going to add the CSS class. So we go back to the website, check what the CSS class is. So I'm going to copy that. When I copy that, I'm going to put that in here. I think there's a space in the beginning here. So I'm going to bring in the HTML widget. When I bring in the HTML widget, I'm going to put it. Then we go back to the website. When we go back to the website, we just copy the code and we put it in. You understand? So it's basically plug and play. So this is not working right now because this is not working because of some um codes that are not supposed to be here that is here, like this one and the one on top here. So I'm just going to remove that and you can see. So I'm going to remove this over font color as well if I don't need it. So but for this effect to work really well, you need to customize your button. So it's better you use like an outline design. So I'm just going, for the background, I'm going to make the opacity to be 0. You understand? I'll remove the opacity fully. So I'm just going to remove the opacity. I'm going to change the text color. Then I'm going to add some. I'm going to add a background. I'm going to add a solid border type. You understand? So when I add the effect, you can see the previous border disappears, and you have the animated one here. So for this, you have to we have a second variation. So if we come back to the website here, you can see the second variation. So you if you copy the second variation and we just come back here and we copy and paste the variation here, you understand? Let's remove this um jargon code again. So you can see this is a much simpler one. So we have two more effects. It's also straightforward as well. So I'm just going to move really fast here when I'm editing this. I'm just going to move really fast while editing that. So let's go. So a few things to note. For this 3D flip effect, it works better when the width is small. You understand? It works better when the width is small, or when you center align the button. If we bring this to the left, you can see that it's not really working well. But when you center align it, you sort of see the effects better. You understand? Although it depends on how you want to animate. You think this is a cool enough animation for your website, you can use that. So also I want to also talk about the buttons, the icons that you see here in this code, how you can get this Unicode here for the buttons. So basically what you want to do is you um drag an icon button. You understand? Drag an icon button. So when you drag an icon button, you open up one here. So when you open up one, go to inspect on your browser and click on navigate to one of the icons, then go to before in your inspect here. So you'd see the code here. That's basically how you find it. So if you like this tutorial and you'd like more tutorials like this, please remember to leave a comment, like, and subscribe. Thank you very much.